MHayashi. Yeah, so try Pioneer again, and we're actually going to try Farewell in the main deck. This seems to be the best way to have a positive matchup against all kinds of mid-range decks. So it's a little pricey, but yeah. Fortunately, the only card we could cut is Marshal of the Otherworldly Light, which you know sometimes that's the sacrifice we got to make. Let's uh let's see how this goes. I mean, all the rest of the cards I've explained in previous videos pretty much ad nauseum. We're gonna try to play 14 white sources. Yeah, and put two more demolition fields on the sideboard. Just unlike modern, there's not as many decks that the fields are super necessary against. So, anywho, let's see how this one goes, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more content. And yeah, and there's this hype button. And anyway, let's get to the game, shall we?
Okay, let's go. This hand is way too speculative. Well, my rule is I mulligan once and I hope to get lucky after that. Anything that's not land to the bottom. That's the rule. That means Candy Trail too. I'm actually going to risk. Yeah, that sucks. The reason why I risked it is that if they counter this, then it's not really all that valuable. I'm almost thinking of playing this next turn. These don't really have a good end of turn 3-drop. They do 4-drops. I'll wait on this. We have to deal with Teferi if they jam it. Hit this thing. Maybe I should have saved this. I think it's okay. I don't know why this happens sometimes. It couldn't handle the Scry 2. I hate the way it gave us a bunch of extra time. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we'll have to use 2 no more lies on that. That's fine by me. Okay. Demolition Field. Right. No. The Wandering Emperor. Because I want to draw this restoration. fine. Good to know, only 4 basics. So I'm kind of thinking to, no, it's got to be Castle. I know they've got a Wrath most likely. See, I'm genuinely surprised that that didn't crash the game. I'm glad it didn't play Beza out now. Yeah, I just played a bunch of things into my own Day of Judgment, but it's fine. Alrighty. So I might finally get to play my own Beza. Maybe not. I'll hold off. It's just too easy for them to respond with like a march or something on this. Probably should have played Beza first to draw out like a march or something. But I just don't really need Beza right now. Plus it just gets Supreme Verdicted. Alright, now they're going to deck first. Not insignificant. I'll probably just hit something just to shuffle Devin's Veto away. Alright. Okay, had to restart so that I could so that my computer be just that much less laggy. I think if there ever was a matchup for bringing in, and actually I'm even going to bring in a mountain. Yes, I could get a little floody, but I really want to hit land drops. Alrighty. I could have bluffed something, but yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to hit their land drop. Shark Typhoon. I don't think there's that much they can do at 4. Famous last words. Not too bad. I know this seems weird, but since they only have 4 basics, I think there is value to be had here. Thankfully, I have a get lost for this guy. Hopefully they didn't draw Spell Pierce. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, still got blocks here for this. It's fine. Yeah, bottom. I don't like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That might have just been a game-losing mistake right there. I probably should have just map tokened these two. Well, I'm so ahead on time, I don't need to take another break. I like it. Hopefully putting that Wrath to the bottom wasn't a huge mistake. Okay, that's always nice when this resolves, because that's not a given. Yeah, suddenly, like, I like land drops, but I want the lands to have utility. If it's plains, I'll put to the bottom. I don't think there's anything on turn 4. Beza. Wasn't my first choice, but I have to because so many lands. Okay. I can deal with this making something. What I can't deal with is them landing Teferi. If they attack, I'll totally get lost. I don't like using these on those, but still ahead on cards. Alright, I got my own farewell. One of. I can hopefully rely on these to deal with the planeswalkers. That was a little late. Shuffle that Beza away. Okay. Okay. This means they gotta have Dogen's veto. Otherwise, I can't even begin to imagine what they have. Okay. Okay. I see very little point to playing this. There's Ganjo. I think I will do this though. This is the thing about Pioneer. When you win, it's so anticlimactic. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep. We'll blue white control for days. Definitely want that on top. Suddenly, I want that on the bottom. I wanted it on top back when I actually thought I was going to have an engine. Just in case we drew another candy trail. Okay, I didn't know they main decked Narset. Got nothing better to do, so I might as well play it. I know I'm not going to draw a card, unfortunately, because of Narset. Yeah, I gain more advantage in the long run by going after Narset. I have to hold up because if they drop Teferi, it's all over. Okay. The cool thing is I can do this and I can still pump Blast Zone up to 5 if they have a. That's fine. I hope they don't have another getting close to being able to turn out 2 tokens. Alright, that's nice. Okay. Might as well hit that while I'm, you know, use some mana. In this specific circumstance, March of Otherworldly Light will probably be better. Okay. I think note to self, I'm going to hold on this maybe. Yeah, definitely going to hold on this if they've got 2 of those. Did they shuffle away 3 steps ahead or something? Because I'm gonna do it like that. Because I'm not so sure they really have 3 steps ahead anymore. This is what I wanted to wait for. I'm gonna do this because I want to keep cranking out stuff. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. That's fine. I'll probably just tank it. It's fine. Producing so many tokens here. Yeah, I'm definitely blocking one. We know Mazemind Tome is just getting zapped, so. Alright, that's fine. I don't really care about Narset. Okay. Okay, let's go. Don't tell me they've got Thassa's Oracle. Oh, winning game one against Blue-White Control is huge. Okay, pretty simple sideboard, just 3 farewells, 2 that, 1 that. We could get a little floody, but yeah. It's funny, Castle Ardenvale went face to face with went head to head with the Wandering Emperor, and it actually won. Castle Ardenvale just went way crazier making 1/1 tokens than Wandering Emperor went crazy making 2/2 samurais. The 1/1 villagers took down the samurai, so it's idea for a novel. Yeah, looking at this art, it's like Lord of the Rings versus Tales of Genji or something. That's an interesting dynamic here. This is kind of very Lord of the Rings like, actually. Of course, it also reminds me of Haven from Heroes of Might and Magic 5, which, of course, is also inspired by Lord of the Rings. I'm sure. I don't know that for a fact, but I mean, I'm assuming that the movie was faithful to the book because, yes, hot take, or rather hot reveal, I have not read Lord of the Rings. Yeah, just Fellowship of the Ring was just kind of too much of a slog at a certain point, and anyway, that's neither here nor there. Oh, yeah, I don't have the right to call myself a geek or a nerd or whatever you call it. Okay, well, I'll keep. Okay. And disguise the fact that I have white mana. They'll never know. We'll fool you. Dang it. At the risk of having them play Teferi, which they don't have like that many planeswalkers. Okay. Surprised I didn't crack the Lander token. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Hamstringing them on mana seems not bad. Alright, Dovin's Veto. I kind of like the idea of Castle Ardenvale. Well, if I untap, I untap. I got so many fetchables. Okay. Elspethy Speth. Okay. I'm gonna get enchantments and artifacts. Okay. Yes, this means it'll get exiled, but it means I get to play a blast zone, so comes out ahead. Okay. I mean, Elspeth, like, what happened to that? It'll save more time by getting this thing off so I don't have to divert. the army. This is quite the army. Man, maybe the 1/1 tokens. Maybe these are secretly the key to blue-white control. Like, this is 2 games in a row. I mean, like, when we just hit our land drops, these just crank out 1/1 tokens every single turn pretty quickly. Like, this many human soldiers, just wow. Okay, well, we have a hand that does things, so we'll keep. Okay. Boom. It's funny, 1 Thoughtseize, and they fell behind on time. Okay, well, let's get this down. Okay. Better than end up dropping Annex. Right, this is an easy enough field to run here. It's possible they could fatal push their own Mutavault. I've yet to see them do that, but it's something always in the back of my mind that they could do as a way to effectively turn their fatal push into a stone rain. But it also stone rains themselves too, though. So it's not exactly the pure positive that one might think. Okay. I think this warrants a Wrath of God. Oh, I'll take another farewell. Okay, good. I was worried they had an annex. Just in case we draw like a field of ruin or something. I don't want to expose that to a duress, but... So if they activate Mutavault, I'll probably play Get Lost. Although I've got enough Field of Ruins that maybe... Get Lost is also a disadvantage for me. Fine. Okay. Okay, all enchantments, all creatures. I could get rid of graveyards too, but... All artifacts. No, not all artifacts. I'm going to get rid of graveyards, just because I'm a little worried about Croxa. And I still have Blast Zone to possibly bring back with Serra Paragon. Oh, there's Eject, which I will take that. Let's see, if I tap draw... Yeah, we can actually hit both. I hope I didn't miscalculate this. No, I didn't. Okay. They're probably not familiar with my Serra Paragon build, which is hard to blame them. I'm not exactly a super common presence. That's an odd choice. I'd probably put it to the graveyard. I probably shouldn't have played out that land. That one I'm sure they want to keep on top. So we're probably going to force a shuffle. Might as well hit red because we could potentially keep them off Crocs and Yana. Alrighty. Serra Paragon, pretty good. Let's bring back Field of Ruin so we can hit our land drop. Not sure we need to go after red sources just yet. Actually, let's do that. And if they got Fatal Push, they got Fatal Push, so be it. Just so we don't want to turn Fatal Push on their turn. Okay. So I could hit Fable before they can, but honestly, I'm not so scared of it. That being said, we may want to hit the Shaman token. Nah. I'll let it hit me. Well, I guess do this. And we'll do this. I think this is worth basically getting card advantage out of the duress. And having a backup is always nice. Alright. Candy Trail. Okay. You love to see it. And make no mistake about it, Farewell is the reason why we won that one. That granted their hand was not the highest scale of crazy hands they could have, but in an alternate universe where we did not have Farewell, yeah, that did not go well. So here I think they are somewhat susceptible to fields, but would we want to take out a castle? Maybe so. Hope we don't get mana screwed. No, you know what? It worked last time. We're not going to mess with it. Alright. Okay. Okay, much better in NX. Okay, I'm gonna play Castle because if they play get go blank, I want to have. I will need some kind of Wrath of God or something soon though, because I'm taking a lot of damage. In a way, it's kind of a bad sign that they didn't attack with Mutavault. This means they either probably have Shieldred or they have Annex. Okay. Hopefully I get a Wrath of God. I wonder if I should play Serra Paragon just for being a blocker. I'm sure they'll just remove it. I got no other plays though here. And at least hopefully if it's a go for broke, go for the throat, it might just prevent them from casting another Babel or Annex or something. So that's a bad sign that they discarded Shouldered. Okay, so they can sack there. But that effectively, at least I dealt with that card. Okay, I have to discard this because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a farewell. That would be the best case scenario. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what this even does for us here. Bottom, top, I guess. Well, presumably they have to use this. Well, I guess they can copy it. Gonna attack for 7, 8, 9. Well, this is kind of a bad sign that our attacking Mutavault. If it's shielded, then even if we have a Wrath, we're going to have problems. Uh-oh. Looks like shielded to me. Huh. Well, this still actually creates a problem because then the Mutavault will kill me on the backswing even if I do draw Farewell. I almost don't even want to telegraph that we have this. So we'll just lose to the Mutavault backswing, and I want them to forget that we've got Farewell. So this is a case where actually not having more fields might actually have costed us. Alright then, 2 more fields it is then, I guess. Maybe we'll take out a couple planes. I don't think we need it that bad. Well, this was not one of the planes that we, so if we lose this is on us, but I think there's a high enough chance that we draw a white source by turn 3, but unfortunately we only have 8 planes now, and if it's a Castle Ardenvale we need to draw it by turn 2. In this particular circumstance, wish we had more planes. Yeah, also mulliganing against it. Thoughtseiz's deck is always dubious. I just never see myself playing Get Lost next turn under any circumstance. So I'll camouflage that I have the planes. Please don't have a third land drop, please. Alright, we'll hit the Mutavault. Come on, land. Yes. Alright, we're going to play Jeff Bezos. So if they did that in response, I wouldn't have drawn a card. So they would have been down one card in their hand. Okay, we can wait on Bezos. We'll gain life if we wait too. Alright, hopefully we'll draw a land so we can farewell. If not, at least... Oh, yes, hopefully. Okay, great. Should we exile graveyards? That is the question. I'm going to say yes. We know they play Croxa. Okay. Okay, good. Good thing it's not a, you know what. Alright, so I'll make a treasure token this way. Oh, I thought I'd make a treasure token. I guess we both had 6 lands. Okay. Should I blow the blast zone? It could turn on a fatal push. I don't think our value gets much better than this though. Alright. Hopefully we can wrath. I'll shoot that. This helps me thin the deck. I had another possible line of playing Serra, but I want to. Yes, they could thought seize me, but I want to play to the upside of bringing back Blast Zone is pretty good. Well, we bought back a bunch. We'll take it. Alright, Blast Zone on 3, that's for sure. Maybe I should have played another Serra Paragon. No, because if I end up having to Wrath, I need a backup. So Kenzan, okay. Put this to 2. Or I'll offer the trade, why not? Okay. Bottom, top. I honestly don't care that much about Ashiok Dream Renderer, to be honest. Bottom, top. Top, top. Because I don't want to put on turn on Fatal Push. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I think this is a keep. We're going to hope that Beza can do work here. Unfortunately, no field or candy trail to buy back yet with Serra Paragon, but we shall see. All right, we've hit our first matchup where we could very easily get punished for not having March. Very well too clunky in this matchup, but unfortunately we can't necessarily optimize for every single matchup. Alrighty. Okay, so we need something. I might need it now. Well, I guess this qualifies as something. Okay. We got wild might or whatever. Then I think they got us because that will be 6, 7, 8. Well, now if they got 2 of them. I think we want to land. I think we got to play Beza, and then park the blast zone next. Let me see here. I think that goes to the bottom. Yeah, I know. We could have cracked the blast zone, but being at 2 life means that we die to a top decked Ember Heart Challenger, basically. Or a Screaming Nemesis. Like, there's just... Yeah, unfortunately, leaving blast zone up, pretty much exposed us to too much unsavory possibilities. Well, they probably got Wild Might, because otherwise I have no idea why they would be attacking like this. That's actually way less problematic than... Okay. Let's do this. Now, if they top deck another Swish Spear, obviously that's a problem, but... But we do have the ability to gain 4 life off of Mazemind. don't think we need another Serra. Screaming Nemesis would be the... Oh, goodness. See, and this was the thesis statement, is that Beza really does such a good job stabilizing. Maybe we can afford to play some suboptimal cards like Farewell. I do think we want March. I was thinking about High Noon, but they haven't shown us Quarry Steel. I'm really not sure if they play Quarry Steel Cutter or not. I think unless and until they show us Quarry Steel Cutter, I think this mix of cards is probably better. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to do here. See, the problem is I don't really see this hand going anywhere. I'm trying to think here. I mean, we do kind of have Day of Judgment, but there's no life gain. But it does have March. Oh, against my better judgment, I'm going to keep. This is close. I mean, it has mana. It has early interaction. I'm keeping on the hope that we draw into something. You know, because it does count for something that we're up one card, basically. Because if you think about it, if we mold it into the exact same type of hand... And then we did draw some life gain, so there's that. Okay. I think this is a situation where we march pitching. This is exactly one of the reasons why we even play march in the first place. To play Get Lost or not to play Get Lost? See, I think we have to do this for two reasons. We got to hit our land drop, and we have to get closer to... And we only took 1 damage. Okay, well, there's a land drop. So whether or not we play Emergency Eject depends on... Okay, I think that we probably will eject. Although we might actually want to scry first. It's too risky if we don't draw land, right? We'll put that on top, we'll eject. I think because their hand is just so very they have such a non-aggressive start, I think we can afford to play this. This is a very stylized land drop if you think about it. And it's a land drop that doesn't allow us to Day of Judgment. But it's also a win con that does close out the game way faster than the castle tokens. And yeah, and we do have to factor in there was a real risk that we just not draw. Now, in theory, if they had, okay. Oh, I thought they were going to play Sunspine Links, which actually would have been okay, but all right. So I think I can even afford not to scry, which is a very good place to be. All right. All right, we're going to Beza size. And we're going to be cognizant of the fact that they actually have more lands than us. So this is actually something I was not in tune with before with Beza, is to also watch the lands. In the past, I would have just played out the land, but we actually get a treasure token here, which enables us to draw a card 1 turn early with Mazemind or to cast Get Lost. It's a very powerful effect if I say so myself. Beza time. Okay. Alrighty. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, man, I can't even believe that we were playing this deck without Beza. Once I started to be like, it's funny. I was like, man, we need another good like creature. Like, ideally, maybe it draws a card. Maybe it produces more than one body. Maybe it even gains some life. I mean, there's no card that could possibly do that much. Oh yes, there is. Yeah, like it's funny. The answer was staring us in the face the whole time because we constantly see this card in blue white control. But it's like eventually it clicked, and I'm like, wait a minute, what about that card blue white control plays? You know, could that be the creature I'm looking for? I mean, like I'm not a control deck. Wait a minute, I kind of am. It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's like, wow. I mean, no card, very few cards like do as much as this one does. I honestly think this is better than Wandering Emperor. Yeah. We can buy it back. I think we're gonna gun for a land, and we need a treasure token too to pull this off. So I think we will not tap two. Okay, you know what? Maybe change the plans. Maybe we will draw a card with this. Or maybe we'll just pass the turn. I don't think we need the life like right this second anyway. Yeah, we'll pass the turn. Okay. Well, we end up doing this anyway. Maybe I should have done this though, just to gain. I I can't even fathom why they would be wanting to attack in this spot. So I will just okay. We'll do this to mana ramp. We can we can demolition the den and play castle token. I probably won't play a token though. I probably will just attempt to block as is, and then I have Get Lost if they have Wild Mind. Reckless Rage, whatever it's called. Okay. Should I attack with Serra Paragon? Probably. they're putting themselves in a position where, even as an aggro deck, at a certain point, it's not going to be feasible for them to win in a timely fashion, even if they win this game, which it's looking. So you know what? I'm not going to attack with Serra because they put themselves in this situation where. I mean, I hate to play to the clock, but like they pretty much they put themselves in this position. This wasn't me. Yeah, man, I missed the mono red deck. I played a very similar mono red deck for a little bit. It was a little hit or miss, but ultimately it just felt like it did not feel like it was a better than 50-50 deck. It felt like it was kind of like a 50-50 deck at exactly at best. I mean, that was just my takeaway. And maybe my build wasn't as good, but this was the exact issue I was running against. It's exactly what's happening right now. But on the other side, the opponent would drop some big beefy creatures, including specifically Beza. And yeah, kind of Beza is one of the reasons I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be playing red. Okay, we'll take it. Okay, well, match 5. Let's see. I will keep. Alrighty. Yep. I wonder if this is a mono green devotion. It probably is. I think I need to save Get Lost for Cora then, I guess. First big decision to play Get Lost on Elvish Mystic. I think the answer was no, but I could see it going both ways, but alright. Okay. Hopefully Day of Judgment does good work here. Definitely bottom. Uh, well, that was unfortunate. If we had drawn one more land, we might be able to recover from this, but kind of looking maybe not so much. I should have scryed. Probably wouldn't have made a difference, but See, if I would have held this up, but I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just played the restoration. Okay, let's do this. I don't think this is a matchup where we necessarily need this many castles. You know, I take it back. Actually, this is a matchup. I don't think we need this many Serra Paragons. March for the Otherworldly Light. Let me think. Do we need that? Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need Serra Paragon. March can be good because it intercepts the Ovenwald Oddity. Yeah, but other than that, I think pretty much we. No, you know what? It's also good against Old Growth Troll. I do like having lots of land drops, though. Yeah, we'll take out 2 castles. Hopefully we don't get mana screwed. Actually, you know what? Take out 2 candy trails. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Candy trail less powerful if we don't have Serra Paragon to bring it back. It can still be good, but you know what? Yeah, we'll have all the candy trails. Could be very important to make sure we draw the cards we need when we need them. And even though that last game we got mana screwed, mana flood is a persistent issue as well. Another thing too is Candy Trail helps us empty our hand a little bit, put out permanents, and then hopefully have less cards in our hands to draw a card with Beza. All right, I think this hand is a good example of Candy Trail being good. Man, I like both of these cards, but actually I have to have something I'm playing for, if you know what I mean. I mean, Farewell is a little expensive, but it literally is what we are playing towards. Yeah, just because we have to Restoration next turn. His hand seems almost identical to their last one. So maybe this hand actually was a good example of why I wanted more lands instead of Candy Trail, actually. Okay. So here's what we can do. I think we have to double get lost the Outcaster Trailblazer. Should have kept Wrath of God. Alright, I need a land real bad. I guess that kind of counts, doesn't it? Kind of. Do I just lose here? 5, 10, 13. I guess I can play March. Okay, hopefully I don't hit a... yeah. The problem I have here is the only way I can even untap is if they don't attack with Hydra. But if they don't attack with Hydra, then they can kill me on the backswing. I'll wait for them. I'll wait to go to the attacker's phase. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I have to discard Farewell in order to do this. Actually, what was I thinking? I could have drawn Wrath of God. What was I thinking? I could have drawn Wrath of God. No, no, no. I want to see if I can draw Wrath of God. Let me go back to the game. Nope, didn't draw Wrath of God. Alright, post-league wrap-up. So, yeah, the only takeaway is that I think the Demolition Field should be in the main deck, all four. Plus, it's my signature 4-4-4-4-4-8. I know this should be 4 too, but I'm just kidding. We need 8, but you know, my signature basically 4 ofs again. It's funny, like I am open to breaking out of the whole 4 ofs. It's just it always just feels like it's correct to do this at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah. So and that actually opens up some interesting possibility. Because we could move the two extra planes, because this was 10 before. We could move these to the sideboard, but I was actually looking at options we could play for you know, like extra lands that also have other effects, and I think Undo Inversion is probably the best. I think it's between this and Eiganjo, Seat of the Empire. Both look pretty good. You know, Eiganjo has the benefit of being cheaper to use the ability, and also you can buy it back with a Restoration of Eiganjo. I don't think you can buy it back Undo Inversion. You can with a Serra Paragon, but you can't, I think, with Restoration, because it doesn't count as a land in your graveyard. I mean, it does if there's an effect that allows you to play it, but not just like sitting in your graveyard natively. But either way, though, I just think that, you know, like I kind of miss back when we had like 12 Wraths, which is probably too many, but I like that this is like a Wrath and a land, and I think that makes me feel better about playing 10 Wraths, if you know what I mean. It's a very, very expensive Wrath, but it does also give us a lot for that mana too, so that's one of the only Wraths that can hit Planeswalkers too. Yes, there are like planner cleansing and stuff. There are like other effects that are cheaper, but anyway, bottom line, it's a land, very powerful Wrath, and yeah. And the other thing is, you know, I was just thinking, one thing actually I didn't realize about Ghost Vacuum is that at first I thought you only created 1/1 spirit tokens, but that's not actually correct. You actually create copies of the creature. They just become 1/1 spirits, which can be very critical, because cards like Shieldred, cards like we can exile our own Beza, our own Serra Paragon. Like, actually those 1/1 tokens can still pack quite a wallop with extra abilities they have, which apparently they do copy. So yeah, plus it's 1 mana. We can possibly slip it under duress and Thoughtseize turn 1 if we're on the play. It's just cheaper. The one thing I don't like is that a lot of times we want to be blast zoning on 1, although I think a lot of the matchups where you want Ghost Vacuum aren't necessarily ones where they play any 1-drops, like Orzhov, Monument, you know, Phoenix. Like those decks basically don't play any permanent 1-drops that we would want to blast zone anyway. They do play permanent, you know, 2 permanent drops, 2-drops. So actually, it turns out that because of the way the meta is, this may also just be a better mana cost for being able to blast zone without wiping our own card off the table. So yeah, plus, you know, who doesn't like Ghostbusters? But yeah, yeah, let's yep. So just want to say thanks to the patrons. Thank you so much. Kosi Nevlina, Toby Kramer, Alex Crothauer, Big Mamu, Adrian King, Gavin Downard, Urban Lopez, Michael Patton. Yeah, thanks everybody. See you next time.